All right, good evening, friend. Welcome back. So, as my modules get better and better, the technique and method tends to change, even if the build remains the same. So, this was kind of a repeat of another one where I cleared everything out before jumping all the transports and miners in. Wasn't my intention, it just sort of happened that way. So, because I have a higher level Massbat and Solitude, recent upgrades from me, and my higher level teleport as well, one battleship with its Alpha Shield and Amplifier, which is also a bit higher as well, can take out 2 bomber sectors, or at least the bombers within the sector, pretty reliably. And I wasn't really utilizing that until recently when I started helping people out. Jumping around and whatnot with one ship is a bit easier to keep up with, but I'm trying to get better at doing that here. So this is a pretty good example because in stars like this, where there's not that many adjacent bomber sectors, just these 3, but there are bombers in the planet sectors, well, it's beneficial to spread your ships out a little bit. So the start is kind of the same here. Jumping on the bombers, of course, but this one I kind of forgot to teleport because I was distracted down here. So I used this one way over here to knock out these 2 here. And as you can see, I was a little delayed on this one actually. Normally I would have about 15 seconds. The bomber would normally die right as my teleport gets off cooldown. So I would have at least 10 seconds to clear out anything that the bomber is kind of around. So yeah, pretty good example here. Yeah, 15 seconds left on the Alpha Shield. Plenty of time to make things safe and also do a fair amount of damage to the bomber as well. Yeah, and by the time the shield is over, it's practically dead. So yeah, that's something that again I could have done all this time since my recent upgrades, but I just really haven't done so. Luckily, this star does not have any phoenixes in the entry sectors, although it's not really all that difficult for me because of EMP. I can just land on the Phoenix EMP, the Serbs and whatnot, and also one storm as well. And by the time the other storm circles around and the other Serbs come by, the shield's normally down, so it's not the big a deal. So here, I would like to highlight some ways you can get around doing these sectors without a shield. Now, of course, I do have a very high Massbat and Solitude, but just to highlight that you don't really need, leap or suspend or things like that for these sectors when your guns get high enough. So what I was going to do here, I was going to knock out this sector without decoy so I can get my hull low enough so I can use my repair drone, using my hull and getting my repair drone on cooldown so I can use it more and more. So the plan here was I was going to, like I normally do, teleport onto one of these phoenixes and then use decoy, or EMP the phoenix and then use decoy, right? But then I realized these 2 phoenixes are kind of surrounded by sentinels, which would die immediately, so in essence, I'm not going to get blocked by guardians as much doing this. Also, both of these are kind of outside of the range of each other, so I decided instead to use an old technique from way back in the day, which is kind of lure everything to one spot and then EMP. Way back in RS6 days. These 2 had just been kind of clearing out some things. This was a Guardian sector. This one has just been chasing around the storms. Got hit with some ghosts for decoy. So, but yeah, and of course healing off of some of the remains there. Now these three didn't, they didn't follow as quickly as the others, but that's fine because, well, one, they're pretty slow, but two, if they did catch up to me before my mass bat was available, I could always use decoy to distract them. Again, having options. It's nice having so many different things to deal with sectors, especially when all three have very short cooldowns, you know. And of course, I forgot about this sector entirely. I just slipped my mind, I guess. So I came up here, healed off of the Serbs, and sort of sat in here. I don't think I used decoy. I've been trying to save decoy for ghosts because they do a bit more damage than guardians and sentinels, or at least guardian and sentinel sectors, I should say. But yeah, so that's all of the filler sectors dealt with. Like everything in between is clear. I don't need to clear these on the outskirts here. So yeah, and right on time because the alpha shields are coming back off cooldown now. And here is the reason, or the main reason I got rid of those bombers earlier, because trying to chase the bombers down while also killing this, these sectors, kind of difficult because they run from you and everything runs towards you, so it can be a little weird. But without the bomber in the sector, pretty simple. Now, before the last video I made, it was like the inconsequential achievement that I did, where I didn't need to use my alpha shield a third time, which is something I did before my upgrades. I would have to use an alpha shield a third time. I would have to leave the planet sector when my alpha shield gets low and then come back later on with, either high hull and EMP or just wait for my alpha shield a third time. Because sometimes these sectors have a lot left over when I'm done with them. But with all these upgrades, between the increased amplifier, the increased solitude, the higher mass bat, don't really need that. And also, I can just use EMP if I am kind of surrounded. It's okay if Hydra resists EMP. Hydra is kind of the easiest capital ship to deal with. It does 150 DPS, which can be a lot for how much hull it has. But in terms of capital ships, the only thing that's easier than Hydras are Colossi, I guess, because they don't really do much. Even Colossi can do more damage because by the time you kill them, their laser will hit rank 2 or tier 2 and start doing more DPS. But yeah, so kind of utilizing all these upgrades here. And yeah, so these two sectors are clear, and the same thing happens up here. Got really close with the destroyer there, but again, I have EMP if I need it, so if I'm a bit late for the destroyer, I can just EMP it. And something like this is why I would normally leave the sector. 5, 6 sentinels, 7 sentinels still alive. Well, then again, before my upgrades, the Phoenix would still be alive too, so... but now it's not. It tends to die within my WAMP and alpha shield range. EMP, just in case those signals were going to do a lot of damage to me. And yeah, and because the Hydra Lings do even less damage, I don't have to worry about my hull at all. I just have to keep up with any ghosts that spawn. So yeah, there you go. I guess it's also kind of similar to my other alpha shield video, the second one I did, the Expeditious, I don't know how to pronounce that word, the really fast one where there were no guardian sectors and all that. So yeah, everything's cleared out and the civilians can pick up everything. And so something to note about the the loading part of any run. Between your decoy and repair drone, you won't really run into any hull issues with ghosts and interceptors. And even if both are on cooldown, you can use your alpha shield like that as well, if you need to. So, yeah, in essence, not really a big deal with your drones. So, but yeah, that's that. Really, really fast run, and like I said before, I wonder how well this would perform in the Red Star events, because the whole point is to kill the entire star before the 10-minute mark. Probably not going to be as good when there are phoenixes in the sector, but then again, neither would any other build. It would take a while regardless. So, but yeah, I'm talking a circle. I just wanted to record this, clearing everything out. It's only going to get better from here, I guess. Kind of the reason why I am kind of looking into other weapons, because, MassPat's great, but I want to see the potential of other weapons like dual laser, as you can see on the bottom there. But yeah, so that is all. I shall see you some other time. Ta-ta for now.